Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Some Are Quiet by Ringsk. That's me. So we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box. We are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have these lines in the grid. They are both German Whisper and Region Sum lines. Don't forget that they're both. So what do they mean? The German Whisper means that adjacent digits along the line, such as these two, or these two, have to have a difference of at least 3. So if I were to put, say, a 5 here, then this digit, which is next to the 5, would need to be at least 3 different from 5. So it could be a 1, which is 4 different, or a 2, which is 3 different, but it couldn't be, say, a 3 or a 4 because that's not enough. That's not different enough. And then this one would have the same thing. So this could be 5, 2, 5, or 2, 5, 2, for example, where these are 3 different and these are 3 different. Of course, we can go more than that. We can go 4 different if we want. So that's German Whisper. There are also region sum lines. What does that mean? Well, it means we look at the line as it crosses through each box, and the sum is the same within each box. So I'm going to do a little bit of coloring here just to demonstrate that. So I've got the red, the green, and the purple. The sum of the red cells is the same as the sum of the green cells, which is the same as the sum of the purple cells. But between different lines, the sum can be different. So if we have yellow here and blue here, all this means is the sum of the yellow is the same as the blue digit, which can be different than the green, the red, and the purple. All right, so those are the rules. Remember, lines are both German Whisper and region sum lines. And obviously, I know how to solve the puzzle already because I created it, but I'm going to walk you through it and get started right now. All right, so it may be tempting to start with this line, and you may be able to make progress with it. But actually, the best place to start is this line here. So this is actually extremely forced, but the way that I like to think about it is sort of step by step, so we can walk ourselves through it. The first thing to think about is in all German Whisper lines, even if they're not region sum lines, we're going to alternate either low, high, or high, low, high, low. What it starts with isn't known, but we know we're going to alternate between the two. And the reason for that is we're going to be starting, say, at between, when I say low, I mean 1, 2, 3. When I say high, I mean 4, 5, 6. So we're going to be starting, say, in the 1, 2, 3 range. We're going to have to add 3. That's going to bring us up to highs, the 4, 5, 6 range. Then we're going to have to subtract 3 to get us back down to the 1, 2, 3 range, etc. You're always going to bounce back and forth. Think about it more if I'm not convincing enough. But now let's think about how this works then. This could start low and then go high and then low. But what are we saying about the region sum in this case? What we're saying is that a low digit plus a high digit equals a low digit. I don't think it takes much convincing to say that that's not possible. You can't add a low and a high and get a low. So we are not doing that. Instead, we are doing a high plus a low equals a high, which is absolutely possible. So if we want to just naively fill this, highs are 4, 5, 6, and lows are 1, 2, 3. Now this can't be a 5. So can this be a 6? Well, the answer is no, it can't be a 6, because if it was a 6, then what's this sum going to be? We're doing 6 plus something equals what? We'd have to have a bigger digit than 6, so that's not going to work. So we get our first digit. This is a 4. Now, the key here now is to remember that we are working with a region sum line and a whisper line. And on a whisper line, 4s can only be next to 1. Otherwise, it breaks the German Whisper rule. We have to be at least 3 different. And the only number that's 3 different than 4 that works in a 6x6 is 1. So that has to be a 1. And now we know the sum. The sum is 5. We can just fill it here. So this one's completed. Now if we look at this, the exact same thing happens. Again, we have to go high, low, high. Otherwise, we're going to end up doing a high plus a low equals low, which makes no sense. And then this one now also sees a 5. And so it can't be 6 because, again, it's going to be 6 plus something equals something bigger than 6. So it has to be a 4. And if it's a 4, then it has to go with a 1, and that sums to 5. So these are identical. Okay, now that we have that, we want to think about the other line. It sort of makes sense that you think about it. So what are we going to do with this one? Well, the first thing we want to try is the thing that seems less reasonable. The thing that seems less reasonable is for it to alternate high-low like this. I could color the rest, but I mean, these are just going to alternate, right? So the question is, what is the minimum this could sum to if it were colored this way? And the minimum would be a 4-6 pair here. In fact, it would have to be 6 and 4 like this. Actually, sorry, this would have to be 6. Oh, there's an even simpler reason this doesn't work, but even if we didn't see that, there's a 5 in the box, and so this could add to 4, 6 minimum, and then this could be 1 minimum. So even if that were the case, it would have to add to 11. And how do you add to 11 in 2 cells? The only way is 5 plus 6, and that breaks the German Whisper rule. But also, there's just something simpler to see, which is that both of these cells, if they were high, they'd both be 6, because they both see a 4 and a 5. So that's no good. So we're not going to do that. So however you saw that, this ends up being the coloring. And so then we can just color the rest of the line, low, high, low, high. So what can this cell be? It's going to be a 4 or a 6. But remember, we are working with a German Whisper, and there's a problem with a 4. When a 4 is on a German Whisper, the only digit that can be next to it is 1. So this is a 1, and this is a 1. And there's a lot of problems with both of these being 1. You can see them in red. So it can't be a 4. It must be a 6. All right. So additionally, what is the maximum this could add to? Well, this could be 6 plus 3. That's the max it can go. The highest high and the highest low. And that's 9. What's the minimum this can add to now that this is 6? Well, it's going to be a 1-2 pair with a 6. That's also 9. So that's what it has to be. This sees a 1. So this is 2 and 1. And now this cell sees 4 and 5, and it has to be high. So it's definitely a 6. And we need to add to 9. So this has to be a 3. And now next to 3 on a German Whisper line, there's only one digit that's allowed to be next to 3, which is a 6, which then makes this also a 3. And we could continue coloring, but I'm actually just going to get rid of the colors because now that all of the lines are filled, there's no reason to need to have those colors anymore, and we'll just do straight Sudoku now. So this box does need a 4. It goes here, and that's where the 3 goes. You can do the Sudoku however you'd like, of course. We need 2, 3, 5 here. This is the 3. This is the 2. This is the 5. We are going to need, let's see. 2 goes up here. One of these. That places the 2 here. This is a pair. We need a 1 and a 4. This digit is known. It's a 3. This is going to be 2, 5, 6. So this can't be 2 or 6. So this is the 5. And then we need 2 and 6 here, which isn't resolved yet. Up here, this is a pair. We need 4 and 5, and we know the order because of our given 5 over here. And then here we need a 1 and a 2, which is not resolved yet. This is 2 or 6, but it can't be 6, so it's 2. And that gives us all of these digits. And then we need a 1 in this box, which goes here. We need a 3, which goes here. We need 4 and 6. And there we go. We're done. So hopefully I explained that well enough. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I think that the key to this puzzle is just remembering how German Whispers work. You can get really deep into the sums and trying to think about those and not understanding how the German Whispers significantly restrict it as well. So I know that in some testing, for example, not realizing that 4 couldn't be next to 2, or not remembering that, maybe not forcing this 3 to give you a 6 here, things like that would potentially slow you down. Or trying to focus on this big line before realizing that these little lines are completely forced thanks to our given 5. So let me know how you did on this. Did you spot the trick right away, or was it a struggle? I'm always happy to have feedback on the difficulty of the puzzles and whether you enjoyed them. And of course, regardless of that, if you're enjoying this series, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.